So you join us now for the final group before our Best in Show competition. This is the Hound Group, and our judge for this evening is going to be Mark Kokoza.
As a breeder and exhibitor, he has campaigned champions in 6 breeds across the Hound and Utility Group. So please give a very warm welcome to our Hound Group judge.
There he is on the right,
Mr.
started
Mark
in
Kokoza.
Afghan Hounds, but has also had success with Tibetan Terriers, Petit, Basset, Griffon, Vendeen, as amongst many other breeds. Also now lives with a French Bulldog.
And now it's your chance to welcome into the group our Hound Best of Breeds, led in by the Afghan Hound, the Basenji,
the Hound breeds originally used for hunting either by
the
scent
Basset
or by
Hound
sight.
Bretagne.
They should be dignified and aloof, but trustworthy companions.
The Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen.
And because of those different origins used for scent or sight, we have a lot of different body shapes in the Hound group. You'll notice little groups, the Basset groups.
And now the
Sight hounds tend to be on longer legs, being able to gaze over longer distance. The scent hounds, like this Basset Hound, lower to ground.
And now we see the Bloodhound.
The Bloodhound, now a vulnerable breed here.
Now here comes the Borzoi.
Originally a Russian Wolfhound, that's why they need that coat to protect them.
Now we see the first of our Dachshunds, the long-haired Dachshund.
You'll see a little group of Dachshunds come in now.
The
6 different varieties.
Two sizes and 2 coat types in each.
Followed by the smooth-haired Dachshund. And now in comes the miniature smooth-haired Dachshund.
It's a big ring when your legs are that little, isn't it, Jess?
Now comes the wire-haired Dachshund. The miniature wire-haired Dachshund.
The last of our 6 Dachshunds there.
Followed by the Deerhound.
What a contrast. When you say followed by the Deerhound, give the Dachshund a little bit of space.
And now here comes
or he'll
the
get mown
Finnish
down.
Spitz.
Needs to just drop into his stride. He's pacing a little bit there.
The Foxhound. The Greyhound.
Big round of applause for the Greyhound.
The Hamiltonstovare. The Ibizan Hound. The Irish Wolfhound.
Another big cheer there.
The true giant of the group. Wonderful expression, looking around saying, why is everybody clapping?
And now here comes the Otterhound.
Another of our vulnerable breeds here. The Otterhound.
The Pharaoh Hound.
Oh.
The Portuguese Podengo. And now we see the Rhodesian Ridgeback. The Saluki.
Such grace and swiftness in the Saluki. Beautiful moving dogs.
Slugi.
A similar outline there of the Slugi.
The Whippet.
Another big cheer. Whippet's always popular.
From the Any Variety Import Register breeds, the Griffon Fauve de Bretagne.
Lovely to see one of these representing the imported register. Only just beginning to establish themselves here in the UK.
And here's another really diverse group of dogs with a massive difference not only in size but country of origin and perhaps most importantly, their modus operandi.
So Mark
Just
Kokoza
like
going to
Hound
walk
Group
his line,
we
take
saw
a
on
good look at the
Friday,
outlines of
there are a
his
mix of
best of
subgroups
breed
here
winners.
with the
First chance, of
hounds
course, the
too.
group judge, because it's not done to go wandering around looking at what your breed judges are doing during the day. They stay well away, and this is the first look he gets at what all those breed judges have sent through.
And Mark, of course, will be aware that we already have 6 finalists, and his winner has got to go up against those in Best in Show in just a short time.
They were also used as they're used in packs, and we mustn't forget the Dachshund varieties, another of the hound subgroups. But these 6 breeds are neither specialist, sight hound nor scent hound.
So our judge, Mark, turns his attention to the Afghan Hound, judged today by Lotte Jorgensen, 188 here. This is the bitch number 17001. The name of the breed gives him.
The Afghan Hound, our judge's original breed, swift, powerful and dignified. This dog was a sight hound originating from Afghanistan's rugged mountains and plains, where he hunted deer, gazelle, hare and fox.
They're glamorous and hard-working, much prized by local tribesmen, the Sardars and the Sikaris.
The Afghan should have strength and dignity combined with speed and power, and this one, a 9-year-old, over from Germany, really showing the longevity that this breed can have.
They float the ring, a good example, and that ringtail, absolutely classic.
Smooth and springy on the move, with a level back and the head held high.
That's the Afghan Hound.
This one's come from Germany to compete today. It's a brush going flying there.
Basenji, judged today by Ben Reynolds Frost, and from an entry of 68.
Dating back from the time of the Pharaohs, here we have the Basenji. It arrived in the UK in around 1936 from the African Congo, where it was used as an all-purpose hunter, working from both sight and scent. Uniquely, it has no bark, and that's instead replaced by a yodeling sound. Lightly built and finely boned, it should be aristocratic looking.
They don't bark, but they emit a yodel.
This one's come from Poland to compete today. Short, sleek coat, always white on the feet and legs, chest and muzzle, otherwise either black, tricolour, tan or brindle.
They should have gazelle-like grace, and the legs should be carried straight forward on the move with a swinging stride.
And that high-set tail curled over the back, very characteristic.
The Basenji there.
Courageous, hardy little russet-coloured, rough-coated scent hound this, the Basset Fauve de Bretagne, originating in Brittany and prized as an all-rounder capable of hunting just about anything.
It's also one of the smallest in the past, was rarely seen outside of France.
Should have a moderately domed skull with nostrils wide open for scenting, the neck short and muscular, moving into a chest that's wide and deep.
Real nice, balanced little French Basset breed. This one's come from Sweden to compete. Real quality dogs.
Quick and nimble on the move, striding out well there, and that tail lashing.
Harsh, dense, flat coat, either fawn gold or red wheaten.
And now we see another of the French hounds, the Basset Griffon Vendeen Grand. They were judged today by
Here we have the tallest of the Basset hounds, the Basset Griffon Vendeen, the grand variety. It should have a long body and ears, and it's a scent hound. The name Bass translates as low or low set, and it was originally used for hunting hare and rabbit. It should have a noble head carried proudly and be balanced throughout with a rough coat.
Whilst they're working. Very popular in France, they were selectively bred and developed.
The distinctive beard, moustache and eyebrows give it its characteristic expression. And Jess, this was your breed, wasn't it?
It absolutely was, and what we should be looking for is a nice top line on the move, good striding out with good leg action. This is a dog that in France hunts in thick undergrowth all day long.
That's the best of breed, Basset Griffon.
Should be noble in the head. They're such a beautiful breed.
No bias there.
And this, the smaller cousin, lighter and with less extreme proportions than the Grand Basset Griffon Vendeen. This is the Petit Basset Griffon Vendeen. Second of the 4 Griffon Vendeen hounds. We've got little shorter ears, slightly shorter in the muzzle, and a shorter tail on this one.
It can be traced back to the 16th century, where they were used to hunt rabbits and hares. The name Petit Griffon Vendeen.
It should retain a rustic look, be compact and short-legged, but it's most important that the head is carried proudly.
We need great drive on the move, and they really look like rustic little hunting dogs, busy people. We always say the Petit Griffon Vendeen has an extra set of batteries.
This one just 16 months old, come from Hampshire, a dog called Freddie.
And the next dog to be judged, instantly recognisable, the Basset Hound.
Thought to have been bred for hunting by French monks in the Middle Ages, here we have our best-of-breed Basset Hound. They have long, fine ears used to enclose the scent and enough substance and a pliable skin to protect them in undergrowth.
By Lord Galway in 1866. But they weren't seen in the showroom.
Emma's come from Italy to compete today. The Basset Hound, of course, instantly recognised by absolutely everyone.
That deep chest there, Judge really getting the hands on, feeling underneath the skin.
Definitely heavier in the bone than the Bassets we've just seen, but should never be exaggerated. This dog needs to be able to do a day's work. And when he goes, we should have, when she goes rather, I beg her pardon, the sabre tail nearly always has, or should have, a white tip on the end. It makes them easier to see.
Movement should be smooth, powerful and effortless.
They do have a reputation for being stubborn, but some call it being
This bitch is a European winner and an Italian champion. She is very brave, according to her owner.
365.
On the table now for Mark Picosa is the Beagle. 229 Beagles here today. Darren Fellows is our judge. This is another male.
Way back in the 15th century, when the Beagle was developed as a pack hound to hunt abundant hares, it came in 2 sizes. This one has prevailed, and the smaller pocket Beagle vanished from UK shores but can still be found in the USA. Sturdy and compact, a great hunter.
United Kingdom at the beginning of the 20th century, the term beagling was fairly common.
The Beagle should have quality without coarseness. A powerful head, skull slightly domed, a neck long enough to allow it to come down to scent. This one, 15 months old, from Darlington.
Carried on the hunt by horsemen in their saddlebags, making eager noise.
Business-like on the move with that, the tail's called a stern, the stern cranked up. And a lovely soft expression always on a Beagle.
His short, dense coat drives very quickly. That's the Beagle.
The Beagle there.
And now we turn our attention to the Bloodhound. 23 of them here for Judge Ian Layfield. Best of breed is this dog, 17706. St Hubert is the patron saint of hunting, and as such...
The instantly recognisable outline of the Bloodhound, descended from hounds kept in the monastery of St Hubert in Belgium. The breed has been developed in Britain since before 1300. They were used as a leash hound for hunting deer and wild boar. They should be noble and dignified dog, conveying power and wisdom.
Been known to follow trails which are over 100 hours old with great success, leading them to be the first.
A long, narrow head with deep, square foreface are distinctive features of the breed, as are the elastic, free-swinging movement we're seeing here.
This one's called Mission, and Sam Farlap imported him from Canada. And exceptionally, he's the only Bloodhound in the UK currently to hold a Platinum Health Certificate. That's the highest possible level. Super dog.
She chose this bitch, number 17759.
Borzoi means swift, and this elegant, long-limbed Russian wolfhound used its speed to chase down his quarry, usually working in pairs, and they have tremendous courage to hold their prey until the hunters arrived. The Borzoi, the Russian wolfhound.
The Grand National Exhibition of Sporting and Other Dogs at the Crystal Palace in 1871 saw the first
Distinctive feature of the breed is that long, lean head with the slightly Roman nose. The chest should form a narrow oval, and the back has a graceful curve to it.
They are curvaceous throughout, but should be light and swift on the move.
This one, a 3.5-year-old bitch from the Netherlands. Our best of breed Borzoi.
The Borzoi.
next dog to be judged is the Cirneco Dell'Etna. Welcome.
Here we have one of the less well-known breeds in the hound group, the Cirneco Dell'Etna. It was a favoured hound for hunting rabbits near Mount Etna in Sicily. It has excellent hearing thanks to those large mobile ears that we can see there, and it shares its elegant outline with the Pharaoh Hound, just in a smaller package.
Historically used to hunt rabbits, they can scent and work for hours on rugged terrain.
It should be elegant, slender built, but still have strength and robustness about it.
Hunting dogs, that's the best of breed Cirneco Dell'Etna, number
The springy trot there of the Cirneco Dell'Etna.
The first of our Dachshund varieties is the long-haired Dachshund, Jeff.
So here's the first of our Dachshunds. We've got 3 different sizes and 3 different coat types. This is the standard long-haired Dachshund. This is neater. Dachshunds, of course, bred to go to ground, to follow their quarry underground. They're very much at home in a burrow.
Their strong front feet make them adept at digging into sets.
These dogs should be twice as long as they are high, but not excessively long. There must be enough ground clearance underneath them to allow their movement to be free.
And that coat is soft and straight. You don't want too much wave in it, only slight. Abundant feathering and a tail like a flag.
And those conical shaped heads are distinctive features of all of the Dachshunds we're about to see.
As well as against the cold and the rain.
They have brave characters, though, because, of course, what they're following down the holes isn't always rabbits, foxes and badgers, too. Not so much anymore.
They possibly figure in the breed's ancestry. That's the long-haired Dachshund.
And now we see the miniature long-haired Dachshund.
Now here we have the miniature long-haired Dachshund, the smaller cousin of the variety we just saw. As we mentioned, these we use for tracking wounded game and going to ground after rabbits and badgers. They should be a compact, well-muscled dog with enough ground clearance to allow them to move freely. They should be bold and defiant, with the head carriage always proud.
And the miniature should weigh no more than 11 pounds. Germany, the varieties are separated.
I tell you what, we've had such a wet winter, I wouldn't want to have to live with all that coat at ground level, would you? They originated in Germany, where they're called Teckel, meaning badger dog. They're described as courageous to the point of rashness too, which I think anyone who owns one would agree with.
The oval chest has maximum lung capacity, allowing them to work.
That's best of breed.
Movement should be free and flowing.
18066.
Now it's the turn of the smooth-haired Dachshund. Judged was Rachel Barney from a selection of 84. 18154 emerged triumphant, and this is a female.
So here's the first of our smooth Dachshunds, where, if you imagine, it's like a Dachshund who's taken his clothes off, so you can really see the shape here. That graceful neck, great fore chest, just where the handler's hand is there sticking out, and the length of the back. But it doesn't want to be so much that it causes the dog problems. We need balance.
The faithful German Dachshund of Queen Victoria.
The owner of this 2-year-old bitch describes her as bold and defiant, and I think those are characteristics that sum up the breed, aren't they, Jess?
They certainly are. Dense, short and smooth, that coat. This one a red. Using her ears on the move. She's paying attention to what her handler's saying.
They should be in hard, supple, muscular condition, and the breastbone is prominent at the front of all of the Dachshunds.
The next dog for our group judge Mark Koza to see is the miniature smooth-haired Dachshund.
And here we have the miniature smooth-haired Dachshund. It has that dense, short, smooth coat that we just saw, and the skin should be supple. Known as the Teckel or badger dog in its native Germany, it should be moderately long and low. It's sometimes known as the sausage dog, but it should have enough ground clearance to allow it to move freely. It's most important that it's not over-exaggerated.
Dramatically in popularity. The first classes, the Dachshunds were seen here in Birmingham at the Kennel Club show.
Picture of a head there. You said sausage dog, I think that's probably what the handler's got in his hand.
badger hounds in the foreign dog classes.
Skull should taper down to the tip of the nose. Ears broad, high set and well rounded.
And they're so popular now, it's hard to believe that although Queen Victoria was a massive fan, Dachshund numbers plummeted around both world wars because of their German origin, and we nearly lost them, brought back by aficionados who absolutely rooted for the breeds throughout.
Just see there, the tail touching the ground at rest. The miniature smooth-haired Dachshund.
We move to the wire-haired variety. This is the wire-haired Dachshund, judged by Jill Peake, winning through from an entry of 113.
An absolute picture. This is the wire-haired Dachshund. The whole body is covered in a short, straight, harsh jacket with a softer, dense undercoat. They've got the most marvellous beard and eyebrows and moustaches to enhance the head. And the judge there putting his fingers into the coat to make sure it's the correct texture.
Also weather resistant. It's generally thought that this
The owner of this 2.5-year-old bitch says that she's always out for a good time, and I'm sure we're going to see that on the move now. Should be free and flowing on the move. Tail a continuation of the spine.
Look at that business-like little person.
I told you, out for a good time.
Well, she doesn't know she's one of the smallest dogs in this ring, does she?
She doesn't. Angulation is unique on the Dachshund, so we have the upper arm, it should be a right angle to the shoulder. You see that there.
The wire-haired Dachshund's been used for wild boar hunting and for beating stag. That's the wire-haired Dachshund.
And now on the table we see the miniature wire-haired Dachshund. There are 126 of them for Judge Leslie McNaughton.
The last of our 6 varieties of Dachshund, this one, the miniature wire-haired, the final of the big dogs in a small package. They have this distinctive harsh coat, the wire-haired variety, which should cover the whole body, and then the beard on the chin and the eyebrows, which with that wonderful expression. The skull of this can appear slightly broader than the other varieties because of that wire coating.
And look, as the largest standard wire, and despite the size, is well able to fulfil his purpose.
This little one's called Skinny, and she's come from Italy to compete at Crufts today. And we shouldn't forget that although the Dachshunds are hugely popular as pets because of their diminutive size, they are hunting hounds, and therefore they can be very naughty, particularly off the lead.
That one really striding out well there, legs free to move, back level.
Today we're judged by breed specialist Hector Heathcote from an entry of 77. Hector has sent us through this female, 185.
Designed on elegant lines and with a gentle nature that endeared him as a companion, this sight hound, the Deerhound, can nonetheless keep up with and pull down a full-grown stag, although he was more often used for coursing smaller quarry, and today probably spends more time on the hearthrug.
Queen Victoria and her consort, Prince Albert, loved the Deerhound.
An amazing day for the owners of this 2-year-old bitch. Not only her first CC, but also her first best of breed, and what a way to do it.
Absolutely, and judged by Hector Heathcote, who's somebody who I know has enormous knowledge of this breed and has been with them for very many years. Easy, active, long stride we want with the Deerhound, nice and balanced and sound.
That gentle dignity. These dogs should have real endurance there, the Deerhound.
And now we see the Finnish Spitz. 16 of them for Judge Stuart Byrne. Best of breed was this dog, 18653.
Here we have the national dog of Finland, the Finnish Spitz. These were used for tracking elk and bear and barked to signal when they found their game. They now use the same method for finding game birds in trees. They have the distinct wedge-shaped head, compact body, standoff outer coat and tightly curled tail of all the Spitz breeds.
Thrive on exercise, and their double coat and undercoat ensures that they can work in the coldest conditions.
I think anybody who owns a Finnish Spitz will tell you first and foremost that they've just got something to say about absolutely everything. This one needing to settle into its stride a bit.
Interestingly, puppies have more black hairs and that decreases as they age.
Now, much more commonly seen out and about in the countryside than as a show dog, this is the Foxhound. Still very much the pack animal, but hunting drag trails rather than hunting animals anymore. Foxhounds are occasionally seen in the show ring here, much more commonly in Australia and America.
In 1980, the Foxhound had become such an institution that there were 140 packs in England.
These are dogs built for stamina and endurance. They should be well balanced, powerful and clean cut, free striding and tireless on the move.
Natural ability to hunt. That's the Foxhound.
This one, 5-year-old dog. Owner describes as playful and naughty.
61 of them here for Judge Carla Molinari. And best of breed.
Here we have our best of breed Greyhound. These were developed as hunting dogs in Britain in the Middle Ages, and such was their prestige that a law was passed that only allowed royalty and nobility to hunt with them. They are larger and heavier than the racing track variety and should be upstanding with that long head and elegant neck.
Origins most probably in the Middle East. Dogs resembling greyhounds have been discovered passed on.
This is a brindle, grace personified. I love the description of this breed. Head like a snake, neck like a drake, back like a beam.
This one, Todd, a dog, 2.5 years old, and when not showing, he likes to tear at the post.
Phillips was in charge of the Hamiltonstovare. There were 14 Hamiltons here today.
This is the Hamiltonstovare, and it was created by Count Hamilton, the founder of the Swedish Kennel Club, by crossing English foxhounds with various German hounds to make this handsome, upstanding, tricolour scent hound.
Breeds of dogs. Gets its name from the breed creator, Adolf Patrick Hamilton.
They should be rectangular and giving the impression of strength and stamina. Long and powerful neck, a straight back and a deep chest, really workmanlike.
But unlike the Foxhound, Hamiltonstovare tend to work singly. They don't work in packs so much, scenting out the fox, deer or hare, and then singing freely when they found a good scent.
Short, soft undercoat and that weather-resistant top coat.
And of course, that tricolour colouring is absolutely characteristic of the breed.
We now see the Ibizan Hound. There were 29 of them here today for Judge Ellie Marie Klepp. Best of breed is this bitch.
Here's our best of breed Ibizan Hound. Dogs of an elegant outline with large ears can be seen in drawings going back into ancient Egyptian tombs. This breed was used as a rabbit hunter of Ibiza and the neighbouring island of Formentera. They should be tall, narrow and finely built, able to jump great heights.
Introduced here in 1928, with the first two being shown at Crufts the following year.
Lean, mean rabbit machine, this. And don't think that because you can see ribs through the skin that this dog is underfed. It's nothing to do with that. A lot of these sight hounds come from very warm countries where carrying a lot of body fat means that they would get too hot when they were working. And so they tend to be very lean in comparison to ours.
The Ibizan Hound there.
Irish Wolfhounds were judged by Ian Sexton in Hadnetry.
The largest of the hound breeds, in fact the largest of all dog breeds, the Irish Wolfhound. They very nearly became extinct after the demise of their intended quarry was followed by the Great Famine in his native island in the 1840s. Returned to healthy numbers by aficionados who would always support this extraordinary dog.
His Wolfhound Mickey alongside Cracker the Bull Terrier in the famous book.
Helped back in numbers using Deerhounds, Great Dane and of course the Tibetan Mastiff.
They're a true gentle giant, described as being of great size, strength and symmetry. The head should be carried high on the move and it's described as an easy, active movement.
And this is Paris, champion Sade Paris, with Chris Amu, who of course has won Best in Show here at Crufts.
That's the Irish Wolfhound.
The Irish Wolfhound there.
Now our Judge Mark Proposer turns his attention to the Norwegian Elkhound, judged today by Jerry Daly.
In Norway, the remains of dogs very similar to this, the Norwegian Elkhound, have been found, suggesting it's an ancient and unchanged breed. It's used to track elk, where its resonant bark is put to good use. It should be powerful with a compact body and square outline, that lovely wedge-shaped head.
Club show here in 1901. They were first seen in the UK.
It's hard to believe that the Elkhound actually isn't the size of an Irish Wolfhound, because I don't know whether you've ever met an elk in the dark, but 300 kilos as one of the largest deers and an antler span that takes him to 9 feet, and that's what these dogs have to deal with. So they have valiant hearts, very brave characters.
The coat shades of grey with black tips and that distinctive dark foreface. Our Norwegian Elkhound best of breed.
fellow co-commentator Graham Hill had the privilege of judging the Otterhound.
Now his weather and water resistant coat is oily to touch because of his previous job. This is the Otterhound, and Maria Larego, who's handling today, has been bringing Otterhounds into this Crufts group ring for as long as I've been coming. That's 35 years or something like that. Wonderful, wonderful dogs, these.
Thought to be an amalgam of the Old Welsh Harrier, whose open coat wasn't sufficient protection for the constant.
They're a large, rough-coated breed with a really majestic head. Skull should be nicely domed. On the move, long-striding, active trot.
They can go in any weather and, of course, are used to hunting in water. Mercifully, otter hunting was banned in 1978, so they don't chase their original quarry, but were used on mink after that, of course, an invader.
This one just 13 months old, moving beautifully in the main ring there.
And the next dog to judge is the Pharaoh Hound. 27 of them.
Here we have our best-of-breed Pharaoh Hound. Beloved by rulers of ancient Egypt, the breed's actually native to Malta, where it was used as a rabbit hunter. Sailors then took it to Egypt. It should have a noble blaring with clean-cut lines, graceful yet powerful. It hunts by both sight and scent.
He's a real working hound who has the ability to hunt by scent and sight.
Always this glorious and instantly recognisable colour. They're keen, intelligent hunters, capable of great agility in pursuit of their prey. So we want a nice floating gait going round the ring. They're always impressive.
Head should be long, lean and well chiselled, and those ears of utmost importance, large and erect.
What a contrast. This is the little Portuguese Podengo. The Warren Hound, a rabbit hunter, pocket rocket of a rabbit and vermin hunter actually. In this small size, they can actually come in a medium or a large size too, but we don't have those in this country.
Arriving in Britain in 2002. It's a really super entry for our Portuguese.
It's a small, sturdy dog, slightly longer than it is high, with a lean, fine head that looks like a wedge when it's viewed from above.
Swift and light on the move.
This one's 6 years old, called Gimmick.
Straight-legged, level back the Podengo, that lean, fine head, crowned by fantastic large triangular pointed ears that they use constantly.
The swift, light-footed Portuguese Podengo.
And now we see the Rhodesian Ridgeback. There were 226.
Now we see the Rhodesian Ridgeback, developed as a scent hound in South Africa. When they were taken to Rhodesia, now Zimbabwe, they were used to track lions, so these dogs need to be fast, athletic and very courageous. They take their name from the ridge of hair, which grows in an opposite direction down their spine. Canine folklore says the well-marked ridge is a sign of courage.
Which often included the king of the jungle, the lion. He was also known as the African lion hound.
Beautiful balance in that outline. Straight-fronted, deep-chested, powerful straight back bearing that ridge. They should look strong, and yet there's an elegance about a Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Straight and free on the move. This one is a dog over from Germany, 3.5 years old.
And that short, dense coat, sleek and glossy.
Breed specialist Claire Chrysler had the honour of judging the Salukis today.
The Saluki is an elegant and light-footed gazelle hound. This one just looks a little worried about his performance in the big ring tonight. Hails from the Middle East and whose lineage can be tracked back through hundreds of years thanks to careful records kept by his Bedouin breeders.
Called the oldest race of hunting dog in the world.
Described as smooth, flowing and effortless on the move. The tail is always carried below the back and the coat should be silky and smooth, a teeth in.
They can achieve the most staggering speeds when hunting, and they were often hunted from horseback and worked with falcons.
Saluki.
And now we see the Slugi. These were judged today by Pam Marston Pollock. She had just 5 here. And
Here we
best
have the
breed is
Slugie, a breed you may not recognise. It's a lean sight hound with many similarities to the Slugie we just saw. They're a North African dog brought to Europe after the French occupation of Algeria. As Jess mentioned earlier, these breeds have no extra fat, which allows them to keep cool in deserts. They're an elegant, dignified hound of square proportions.
The nomadic Arab tribes that invaded northwest Africa over 1,000 years ago. This is a breed which is affectionate to its
Free
owner,
and effortless on the move. They have that characteristic high head carriage.
This one, 2 years old, from Cumbria.
On the table now we see the Whippet. Largest entry in the group.
Developed by Victorian miners in the northeast of England, the Whippet was a pocket greyhound used to course rabbits for bet. When that was banned, Whippets were raced after rag lures before eventually graduating to the hearth and home as a much-loved companion and show dog.
Originally used for hair coursing. Versatility and adaptability, there are few, if any,
The breed
dogs
standard
that
calls for a
compare
balanced combination of muscular power and elegance.
gentle, affectionate,
Largest entry in the group here today.
equally at home.
Gentle and affectionate creatures, that characteristic action on the move.
Coats fine, short, close textured,
The best
and the
of
ears
breed
described as
Whippets.
rose-shaped.
And the final dog that we see in this evening's Hound Group is the representative from
Here we have the
import
winner
register
from the
class.
import register classes, the Griffon Fauve de Bretagne, another of the French hounds. It shares its place of origin in Brittany with the Basset Fauve. It was used for hunting wolves from the 14th century and is strongly built and muscular with that distinct wide coat.
Section 19784 is his number. He's sometimes known as the fawn Brittany.
Now this is the larger cousin of the Basset Fauve de Bretagne that we saw earlier on, and with very similar origins, that distinctive gold, red or wheaten coat, and the larger size lending the most lovely balance, I think, to this breed.
This should be sound, supple, easy and active on the move.
In the 1940s to save the breed.
This one moving out really nicely, their tail lashing.
Rough, harsh textured coat, should be nice and close to the body like that.
This is a dog suited to difficult terrain, isn't it?
So that concludes the individual examination of the final of the 7th.
So we've seen our best of breed winners. Who is Mark Kokoza going to pick for the final Crufts 2020 group winner?
Together for all of these fabulous 32 best of breed winners. Whilst he's making his mental shortlist and moving across.
So moving down his line, who's he going to pull? The Beagle. No, it wasn't the Beagle.
It's the
It was the
Basset Hound.
Basset Hound coming in, and the Bloodhound. Oh, I'm delighted.
The miniature smooth
We've got the
head
miniature
Dachshund,
smooth
the
Dachshund,
wire head Dachshund and
the
Deerhound.
standard wirehead, and the Deerhound.
Beautiful Deerhound, that.
Rhodesian Ridgeback coming in.
And the Whippet.
Whippets, Saluki and the Rhodesian Ridgeback all coming in there. And our import register, fantastic for that, the Basset, the Griffon, Fauve de Bretagne. This lineup just showing the different sizes that we have here in the Hound Group. Our judge just taking one more look, and then he probably will move them back up and down again.
So Mark, I think, may well be sending these dogs around the ring.
So here we're going to see them move again, going up to the head of the line. And the Basset Hound.
Here they go.
This one really free and easy on the
Sent
move.
through by Jose
Champion from Italy, his 3-year-old bitch.
Not exaggerated in any way, holding a top line on the move. That stern carried proudly.
The distinctive outline of the Bloodhound here.
Delighted to see this one coming through. This is mission for Sam Farlap. He's such a sound, healthy, unexaggerated looking Bloodhound. Really good on the move.
Also completes in working trials.
And the miniature smooth-haired Dachshund.
This one, 4.5-year-old miniature smooth-haired Dachshund, a world winner in 2018, called Petit, and he's here from Rotterdam.
And
here goes the wire-haired Dachshund. This is Maisie, 2.5 years old. From the Sylvain kennel, we've seen best of breeds from them many times in the group. Kennel with a long history of producing beautiful Dachshunds in this country.
From short legs to very long legs, here we have the Deerhound. This one, 2-year-old bitch called Ruby, comes from just down the road, Bromsgrove in Worcestershire.
And what a lovely Deerhound that is on the move.
Handler John Francis, very experienced handler.
Always a contender, the symmetry and balance of the Rhodesian Ridgeback. This one's Sonny, 3 years old, and they've come from Germany to compete today.
Wonderful colour of that coat there.
And now
here we have the wonderful light movement of the Saluki. 5-year-old bitch called Lena from Berkshire.
And a dog breed that can hit 70 miles an hour over a short distance.
And the Whippet, judged today by Michael.
Here we have the Whippet, biggest entry here today. This one, 4-year-old bitch, Khaleesi, obviously a Game of Thrones fan there. Top Whippet in 2018.
And finally,
and how lovely to have the imported registered representative for the second time. We had the Entreboucher Mountain Dog yesterday, and now we've got the Griffon Fauve de Bretagne. This is Dino, 4 years old.
Wonderful shortlist there.
Now they're going to go down the ring.
Just going to move them all the way round the ring. You've seen the movement straight up and down, but now just seeing those dogs in profile. And Jesse's thinking about which one's going to work in Best in Show, isn't he? Which one's really going to represent the group well.
Lovely to get a chance to see them all moving in profile, one straight after the other. Of course, the reason movement so important in the show ring, they were always, I remember being taught years ago by a very famous breeder, if it's made right, it moves right. And that's why judges spend so much time watching these dogs move.
That's so true. A good handler can disguise things during the stand, but on the move, there's nowhere to hide.
Graceful Saluki.
That lovely Whippet.
Listen to the roar for that.
And the Griffon Fauve.
And the Griffon Fauve de Bretagne.
What a fabulous lineup. So the boards are coming into the ring very soon. We are going to find out who the 7th finalist will be.
So here come the boards. We're going to get a decision. Who is going to be our final
the winner
group
of the Hound Group?
He's going straight for it.
It's
the wire-haired Dachshund. Wonderful win there for Maisie, the 2.5-year-old bitch from Gloucestershire.
Group 2.
Into Group 2, the Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Group 3.
Group 3.
Where's he going? Oh, that wonderful Italian Basset Hound.
And our final group place goes to the little miniature smooth Dachshunds, and 2 Dachshunds in our final 4.
A huge round of applause for our judge, Mark Picosa.
So here we have our final winner, ready to go through to Best in Show, representing the Hound Group. It's Maisie, champion Sylvain trademark, 2.5-year-old bitch from Gloucestershire.
And it gives me very great pleasure to ask Jan Wood, Hound Specialist, to present the Sen Trophy to the winner of the Hound Group. He's being escorted into the ring by Maurice Cook of the Crufts Committee.
Presentation there just taking place.
Our Hound Group judge, Mark Picosa.
Good. She's very precious, actually. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We're just going to have a few words by Marina Scott. I hand you down to the main ring.
Thank you, Kim. From one Kim to another Kim.
Hi.
How are you feeling right now?
Overwhelmed.
I should imagine so. 7th group winner. 7th group winner. Crufts.
It's very exciting, very exciting.
You've bred some fantastic Dachshunds over the years. Does this compare to all those past successes?
Just about, yeah, it does.
And just tell us a little bit about this one that's won tonight.
Maisie is the little sister to the bitch that I've been showing, and she's won the bitch ticket here 5 years on the trot. So to win today was a big win for me. I was really delighted.
Well, 5 years on the trot. Can you go one better to take best in show in about half an hour's time? We shall see, won't we, ladies and gentlemen? Put your hands together for the winning hounds here at Crufts 2020.